Some video emerging that we want to bring you. It demonstrates what can happen when a basic need of an immigrant community, such as shelter, clashes with the need of a state to maintain order. And I have to warn you, I've yet to see someone watch this video and not react in some shock. It occurred about a week ago when police in a northeastern suburb of Paris tried to evict a group of squatters from a housing project scheduled for demolition. Take a look. Now, we are told that most of the demonstrators are from Ivory Coast. We want to make it very clear that in showing this, we are not accusing the police of racism. We are not implying that they use excessive force. Several people who saw this video questioned why mothers would have infant children on their backs in such a protest. This is simply an example of the difficulty one region faces in dealing with its migrant community. Now, in fact, French authorities had offered the protesters temporary accommodation in hotel rooms whilst their cases were evaluated. The video was shot by the group Right to Housing. I talked a short time ago with spokesman Michael Hoare. I began by asking him what had led up to those pictures you saw at the demonstration.
What led up to this was that the police and the prefect of the Seine-Saint-Denis had decided to use force to clear the people out of their campsite, which was just in front of the building which they had been evacuated from. The images themselves were taken by a militant of Droit au Logement, and he had the camera and was taking pictures from within what was happening, from within the group, and policemen came up. The police had already evacuated the other journalists who were around. There was one photographer from the newspaper Humanities. She got escorted out, and another camera had been taken away. And the policeman sort of got hold of this camera and just sort of tore off the LCD screen. So in fact, once that happened, the images stopped. But before that happened, he was able to film this close-up footage.
And before we talk about the footage, just explain to me why these protesters hadn't taken up the offer of alternative accommodation and would rather sit in the street.
Well, the offer of alternative accommodation was very, very short term. The first offer they had was just for 3 nights in a hotel. Then that got extended to 12 nights in a hotel, and they wanted some kind of guarantee or some kind of promise from the part of the authorities, be it the municipality or the prefect or the region, that they would wind up being rehoused. And of course, this wasn't forthcoming, and so they decided to stay until they could get a little bit more than just 12 nights in a hotel.
Can you just explain where these people were from originally? Was it a mixed group, or are they from a particular community?
Most of them are from the Ivory Coast. Most of them have been in France for a period of 3 to 10 years. Some of them have papers. Some of them don't have papers. They have submitted demands and requests to be legalized. But that's the situation of the families who are there. And
where are they now? What's happened to them?
Well, they've accepted, because the experience was so traumatic, they ended up accepting the offer of the prefecture to go into the hotels. There's a meeting going on right at the moment in the Seine-Saint-Denis about what's the future and what kind of program is going to be opened up so that some kind of options for rehousing can appear. But that's very much up in the air at the moment.
Well, after speaking with Michael Hoare, we did receive a statement from the police commissioner there. He acknowledged that an eviction is never a simple procedure when there is resistance. And regarding that disturbing video of a baby being dragged, he adds, the officers weren't able to dislodge her by pulling on her arms because her arms were linked with people on both sides. Therefore, they moved her by pulling on her legs. Within a metre or so, the baby is dislodged and it becomes apparent to another officer who immediately picks it up.